morning, Your Honor. Colleen Curtin Gable on behalf of the people. The next matter before the court is the people of the state of New York against Dylan Schumaker under indictment number 00499 of 2013.
I do, Your Honor. Yesterday, Dylan Schumaker turned 17. When this crime was committed, he was 2 months into his 16th year. There has been a great deal of scientific work as to the lack of development in terms of comparison of a teenage brain to an adult brain. Our laws are geared for adult brains, how they think, not for the impulsivity of a teenager who had significant problems growing up, behavioral problems, aggression problems, anger problems. Here's what I really want to say to the court. Judge, you are the last line of reason in this case. Only you, because the jury's function doesn't include sentencing. You do, and you can take the community's interest at heart. When he was questioned, most of the proof in this case came from my client. His multiple statements to the police in which he admitted what he did. And he admitted what he did on the witness stand. But now it comes down to sentencing and your judgment, Your Honor. Of course, my client's well aware you can give him 25 years to life. I've told him it's 25 years on the calendar before you're eligible for parole. Or this court can balance everything that occurred here, including the fact that Austin Smith was completely defenseless. That's a given. But there were other dynamics at work there, including my client's inability to either control his anger or frustration and his inexperience in babysitting. And you can say that 15 years to life is the appropriate sentence in this case. Because that's your job, Judge, to dispassionately look at all sides and say, that's what is appropriate in this case. Because you have to balance all the factors here. It would be easy for the court. And I've never been a judge, so I've never had that obligation placed on me. To say, well, the jury convicted him of murder. All these people here are saying, don't let him out. Keep him in for the rest of his life. He took someone's life. We can't see Austin anymore. Why should Dylan be able to see his family? Such as that is.
What about the protection of the community? If he gets out in 15 years, based on his short life now, what is to say he won't do this again?
Well, we don't know that. I think it's completely unlikely. It was a situational, circumstantial thing. Nobody's suggesting, I don't think, and I don't think the court has any basis to suggest that my client's a serial killer. And as soon as he gets out, he'll be snarling to get at another kid. That's totally unrealistic. We never know that. We can't predict that. But you can deal with what you know right now, and know that in 15 years he's going to come out of jail as an adult, not a 16-year-old charged with responsibilities that he couldn't handle and he wasn't capable of handling. Thank you.
Judge, I can't say much more than what is in the victim impact statement and what Mr. Smith obviously said. But I think to blame anyone but Dylan Schumaker for this child's death flies in the face of the evidence. He was not an inexperienced babysitter. It's not something every 16-year-old does when he babysits. You know his character from what he did in school, things the jury never heard, and I'm sure that you'll take all of that into account.
Dylan Schumaker, for someone who just turned 17 years old.
Your Honor, my client didn't have a chance to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right, Counselor. I'm sorry. What would you like to say?
Your Honor, as you can see in my school records, I was trying to change my life around. In 2013, I was doing so much better. This completely turned my life. I can't take back what was done. I wish I could. I would give my life for Austin. I loved him a lot. Ashley, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your son. And you know I didn't mean to hurt you. You just can't accept that. Because you know me. You've known me for 5 years. I never would have wanted to hurt Austin. I never wanted Austin to die. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know why I didn't go for help. I wanted to be able to handle it. I wanted to be everything that my father wasn't to me, and everything my stepfather was to me. I don't have a good family life. I haven't my whole life. It's been really rough. Most of my family's abandoned me. I made a stupid choice a couple of years ago. I ruined half of my family. The other half haven't been supportive. But I do want to thank them for being here today. I know their family is here. Thank you guys for being here. Ashley, I'm sorry. Austin, I'm sorry. That's all. Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, for someone who just turned 17 years old, you have caused so much pain, so much grief, and so much despair to so many, many people. I have carefully read the victim impact statement containing letters from 13 people and consisting of 44 pages. My attention was directed at page 1. A picture of a beautiful baby boy, a toddler, who you killed. At 16, you knew right from wrong. Had a bad childhood, had some troubles. At 16, you knew not to keep pounding your fist on that pillow with that little baby's head there. The last hours of Austin's life must have been terrifying for that little boy. By your own testimony, you placed a pillow over his head while he was lying on the bed. Due to the pillow, he couldn't see. Probably he had a hard time breathing, and then you repeatedly punched him so hard as to cause his death by bleeding on the brain. That little boy had to be terrified. Austin trusted you. Now this is he trusted you. And from the testimony, it appeared that boy loved you. What a betrayal of trust. After listening to your testimony at trial, and I'm sorry, your attorney will object to this, but I did listen to it. After listening to your testimony at trial, I came away with the impression that you minimize your actions, that you are a manipulator, and you try to deceive. The record will show that you admitted that on July 23rd, 2013, in a phone call to your mother from the holding center, you stated, and I got a quote from the court reporter, "I am a 16-year-old blonde. Probably all I have to do is cry in front of the jury, and they're going to feel sorry for me," end quote. That statement speaks volumes to me. The night you offered to babysit Austin, you were busy on your cell phone, texting over 200 times, trying to sell drugs and to set up a sexual tryst with another minor girl. It doesn't seem to me as someone who is trying to be a good role model for the child. Too bad that was not all you did. Ignore the kid, try to sell drugs on the phone. No, when the texting stopped, the brutal poundings of Austin took place. It is a judgment of this court that upon your conviction for the crime of murder in the second degree, that you be sentenced to an indeterminate term of imprisonment, which will have a maximum of life. The court hereby imposes a minimum sentence of 25 years.